Hey, so I have to go soon, but I'm going to show you how I did my mask, because there was one person that asked, and I'm going to blab about it. So, basically all I did was I cut a strip of paper, cardboard, and then I twisted it around until it fit my head. So, my eyes were about here, and then that went down to the bottom of my nose. Then that went round to the back of my head, kind of like where the bony part stops. It kind of feels like a triangle, upside down triangle in the back of your head. You know what I'm talking about. And then I did that across the top for when I where I wanted the eyes to stop. So right there. You can actually kind of see it right there. And then a little bit down the bottom, which was right there. And then I did two pieces coming off like that. And you might think, oh well, how did that work? Because that would have been not curved inward like that. Well, I'll explain that differently at some other point. So in order to get the mask to curve inward like this, it's kind of complicated, and I really struggle with it, but I really get benefits from visual stuff, so I'm going to go draw it and show you what I mean. So as you can see here, you cut out a piece of paper, not a piece of paper, cardboard. If I say paper, then I mean cardboard. That is even wider than this, like stretch this the hell out. And then what you do is you fold it in half, so it's like that. And this is the side view. And to show you what I mean, I'll show you these aren't actually put in yet. Like, look, those are just laid on top. So if you look on the inside, I'll give you a bit more light. There you go. So what I did was, see those little bits over there? What I did is I slotted it up in the mask. And what I mean by that is I've just cut out little pieces of cardboard. So what I did was, right about here I think it was, I cut down like that, right there, so I could slot it up, so it went like, that's where that was. So what I mean by that is, I cut into this little piece of paper. Where's the cut? Am I going crazy? Oh yeah, it's there. So I cut into there, like this. I'm going to how do I show this? Anyway, you slot them into each other like that. So this is terrible explaining, but like that, you know, so it's like together. You know what I mean. You can figure it out. So then that was sorted, and so that it had the cool curve on it. And for the tubing, that was the most complicated thing. So I was like, how the heck am I supposed to do this with cardboard? This will not work, but it does work. You've probably seen this in the video already, but this is what I did. I cut a strip of cardboard right here, and then that went round the inside all the way round, and then I cut out loads and loads of strips of cardboard, and then I put them into loops and hot glued them onto it so that it curved like this. So although you can't see it right now, it's curved like that on the inside. And then once that was done and it was all nice looking around the whole side, I covered that in cling film very carefully and make sure that it's not just clumping together. Make sure that you do it neatly. And then I got masking tape, which I haven't put here. It's like the paper tape that you can paint on. And then I just went around each of where the loops are, and then I went around with tape like that. Then I went around the entire thing, make sure that I've taped over the structural parts first. Then I went over where the cling film is, because that's the weakest parts, and I can connect it to the stronger parts, so that you're not just tightening it and making it look clumpy and weird. Oh, and for the eyes, I just kind of cut cardboard and then curved it to make that, and then I just hot glued it. Hot glue gun from Hobbycraft, £15-ish, not that much at all. And then for the actual mask, I need to show that actually. Once I've done this grid that looks like this, right? You can see it on the inside. I just covered it with different cardboard after that. I make sure it's got little supports everywhere, because if you don't, then you're just going to have diagonal sides that are just really choppy and not rounded. It just looks weird. And then for this side right here, what I did was I got cardboard, I just cut out a cardboard circle and then I just bended it so that it went with the grooves of the cardboard, and then I put it against my table, this table here, and I just went like that with it against the grooves so that it was like that too, and then I just went kind of ham and just started crumpling it completely, and then I was able to put hot glue over the base of it and then just stick it on, and then I just used hot glue to add other accents to it. I literally didn't add anything else. I did the same with this patch for showing that it's mountain, and for these little buttons I just hot glued a splodge in like right here very neatly, and then I waited like 10 seconds and I went in with my finger. Be careful with this because you need to make sure that it's not totally hardened, it's not totally still hot glue, because you don't want to burn your finger. I'm not recommending that, but I'm incredibly clumsy, so I just like that, and I held it there and I just did this circular motion so it doesn't stick to my finger, and then I let go, and then that was fine for the whole way around. And then for the back you could do your own stitches, you can make it 3D, but I just used Posca pen. For this I did the same thing with hot glue. I just kind of put tons over it and then that was fine, and I just painted it. I would definitely recommend Posca pens for the whole thing because it makes it look cool. Not to toot my own horn, but yeah. And if you want to face paint your face black, then and you're able to do that, then that's cool. But I've ordered like a thing to go over my face instead, like a little black neck scarf thingamajiggy. And then I bought a steampunk thing off of Amazon, this, and then I used very carefully with protective gloves cut off the top of this so that I could get the lenses out, and now I'm going to cut them to size and stick them on the inside a little further in. So that's what I've done. There's my mini tutorial. I just kind of make things up as I go and follow tutorials. I also send pictures of like a official kind of fake leather maker that makes these masks, because that's what I used for 3D reference the entire time. I'm really sorry if that means I was stealing their idea. I didn't mean to, but it definitely helped me because the stage photos are not useful at all, except for figuring out the shape and, you know, drawing these, because it's really difficult and they're low quality. Anyway, here's bonus cat content. She's adorable. Goodbye.